Hey guys, how you doing? So it's been a little bit ago since I posted a video. So this video is kind of different because it's not about lasers. This video is about DTF. So I was looking for a DTF printer. I'm on the store. We are opening in 10 days. We are finishing stuff and I'm about to set our new DTF printer. So I'm sitting on the crate where they send this printer, and we're going to see and learn basically everything about this printer. I haven't opened the box. I have the oven here. I haven't do anything. I did a little bit of research, what we need and what we should be doing. So I haven't opened this. It's been sitting here for a couple days until we put together a table for the printer. So here's the table. So we're gonna get to it, just open the box, take everything out, set in the machine, testing it, and see how good it is. So let's get to it. All right, so we have here a little bag of goodies. So we have the USB-A to USB. This is not USB-C, USB-A to USB-B cable. We have a power cable. This one says head capping. Let's take a quick look what this is. Oh, look at that. This is like a cover on the head. We will look more. I'm not gonna mess with this for now. So these are some sort of filters. Again, I gotta go through the manual. This one also looks like a filter or mixer of some sort. These are for your DTF roll. So basically you put this inside the roll, put it on the rod that is on the back so it spins freely in center. So it's not wobbling or making tension. So this is very important. So I'm gonna put this on the side. I'm gonna put it up here for now so I don't lose them. This one is some sort of connector, and I want to guess that it's for a limit switch or something similar based on the shape, but I have no idea. So let's put it on the side as well. There's a little cloth to clean up some stuff. This is like a really nice soft microfiber of some sort. These big swabs for cleaning. These are like a nice cotton swabs, but not cotton. It's like a microfiber. It's really nice though. So we have these two that I'm gonna guess are for moving air or removing air of the system. We'll figure that out also. This is very heavy, and I don't know what this is. So I'm not gonna open it right now, but it seems like some sort of data cable. So I need to look more about this. And this is definitely a filter. So this is columnar capsule style filter. And it has the arrow to tell you where the flow of anything should be. So this is interesting. So these little parts, I'm gonna put it back on the back. I don't wanna lose them. Or put dirt on the swabs and cloth right now. And I'm gonna put here also these little things. I'm gonna keep the cables out. I'm gonna put it up here so you know what cables I have. And this head cap, I don't know what that is, but we'll figure it out. So that was the bag of goodies that we have here. Then we have a couple of things here that also I don't know what they are. So yes, I should have watched a video of someone else doing this before or stuff like that, but I did want to have like the experience of opening everything and knowing nothing about. So I don't know what this is. They're like a metal pieces. I guess I'll figure it out on the manual as well. So I'm gonna put it on the side. Here is the software and everything you need for your machine. Now, keep in mind, I know that a lot of people working on graphics work on Mac. This is a Windows only machine, so it won't work on Mac. I'm sure you can figure it out with drivers or something, but the software that they provide to split the image in different colors and layers, I believe is only Windows. So I'll try on my Mac eventually, but for now, put this on the side, don't lose it. If you are like me, try to make copies of this, because anything with a USB that I use, sometimes something happened to the USB or I lose it or something. So this dongle, there's one that looks, say, software, and the other one looks like a physical key. So we'll see. All right, so we have a little make your day letter. So we're doing right now this all together. So what we have here right now, let's see, is just a nice envelope, nice print though. And here is the list of things. So let's see, the number one, of course, is the printer DTF A3 size with a print head. It's an Epson XP600. Says 2 film holders. Yes, we have the two. The number 2 is the film holder. The number 3 is the film tray. That's the one that you use to cut. The number 4 is a USB cable. We put it up there. We have a number 5, the U-disc, which is basically the software. And we have the dongle, which is a physical key. Number 6, I was right, is a sensor. For what? I don't know. We'll figure that out. Number 7, power cable. Power cable. I did not see the power cable. So I need to look again, because I did not see the power cable. Let's see in the back. Well, there is a couple doors on the back that I need to check. But yeah, I didn't saw that power cable. Number 8, white ink damper, 2 of those. The number 9, color ink damper. Okay, so those little things I didn't know what they were. Number 10, white ink filter. So yes, the filter is for your white ink. The number 11, it says ink pad. So basically, I'm gonna guess that the ink pad is where your head stops, and when it's flooded with ink, you need to replace it. So we have a spare, unless it's not installed, and we have one only. The number 12 says syringe times 2. We'll figure that part out. Then no woven fabrics. We have the clothes, cleaning swaps, DTF ink. That's the ink over there. And we have DTF transfer film. DTF transfer film. So I need to look for the power cable that I haven't seen yet. On the back, open the printing cover and remove. So here's a quick instructions on the setup and how to get to work with this. So I'm gonna look around the printer. I'm going to read the manual. We have a big manual here. And I'm not gonna do this on the video. I don't wanna boring you what I'm going reading and trying to figure it out. I'll go read this, came back, explain, and assemble. So, be right back. Okay, so I was reading into the manual and see how kind of everything going to go. I didn't wanna put the whole analysis of the manual. So, it's actually quite simple. I thought there was more involved because this, but seems like there is not much. These are like for troubleshooting, cleaning, and things like that. So I want to show you a couple things really quick. So for the cutter, this is on the front of the unit. So the cutter has these rods, and on the front of these there's a couple set screws. These are actually loose on mine. I don't know if every single person get it like this, but this one a little bit loose, so the rods kind of move and get out of the rail. That's not a problem. We just need to tie the set screws and this will roll easy, and just mount with this kind of a bracket system like this. So you align it on the holes and press it down, and that's it. Super simple. So for the back though, the one on the back, this is where you put your film or the roll of the DTF. This one has 5 screws. It has 2 here, 2 here, 1 in the middle. So it goes on the back of the machine. So I'm gonna move this camera, put this on to show you where it goes. Also, this is something that you can remove, so you can pass it on the roll. You don't need to worry about it. It's pretty easy. And they put a little groove on this. Look at that. There's a little groove there. So that groove will go exactly here and sits. So it will roll. So far, seems that holds it very well, you know, and it rolls or spin easier. This one is to set the position of the roll, and then you have a little thumb screw. I'll probably change this for a better quality thumb screw, especially one that I have with a ratchet screw, that it will be easier for me. But this one works just fine. It's just for, I have those, so why not? I want to say that this is an M4, so I have had nice red ones, so I want to use M4. Okay, so let me show you this part in here because I found it's interesting. So here we go. Here's where your ink is going to live. Let me put this down. So it says use only LOKLiK original ink to ensure optimal performance. So as always, I'm gonna say, talk with the manufacturer. If you want to run any other ink, make sure that the ink is going to be perfect for your print head. There is a couple things that you can read about it, but if you don't have problems with the ink that comes with this and the price is right, don't change it. This is my advice. So then the same message basically in Spanish and other stuff, whatever. So the whole system for ink is behind this part. So there's 2 screws, there's 1 in here and 1 in here. So this one that has the 5 screws are these 2 down here, this one here, and then 2 more here. So I want to set this in place to have it there. So I was wondering that I'm missing a cable because I thought this will connect to some adapter, but actually this connects back here, and this is what powers the pump to keep stirring the white ink so it doesn't settle. So that's what it is. I'm not missing a cable. Okay, so 5 screws. I'm going to hope that this will do the job just fine. There is 1. So this goes just like this. So I'm going to remove this for now, so it's easier to manipulate. There we go. So now that we have that, we can work on the roll. So let me show you this. The roll have these 2 extra things that came with. So if you are setting up the roll, I'm not gonna take it right now out of this because we will finish this tomorrow. It's actually pretty late here, but I want to show you this. I'm gonna pass this one side and one side, right? So you will have it like this. This is still kind of a wiggle everywhere. So what you do is you replace these ones with the other ones that they provide. So the roll goes there. So let's put one here. Where is the other one? There. So then you put this to lock in place. Tie the little screw that they provide on that. Just put it like this right now. There we go. So this actually makes the roll spin like perfect in place. Of course, without the plastic, but it holds everything in place, the roll, and it spins perfectly. So that's a great job though. Okay, so we have the back with the roll installed. We have the front. We need to tie these ones up. I need to get my Allen wrenches. They are on my home, not on the shop yet, so I'll tie that tomorrow before doing the rest. But inside, there is a bracket that holds the head in place for shipping. So you want to remove this. And I don't want to have this screw falling, so there you go. Make sure that you have both, and also you have this bracket. Even the bracket is metal. So now the head is free, so that's great. So before you set up something, remember the metal parts. Those metal parts goes clamp here in this rail. Let me show you. Yeah, so this rail, and those are to keep the paper in place, kind of a guide, so the paper don't wobble and you know where it is. And this line is where the paper works. So let's put those metal parts. Okay, so let me show you really quick what I did here. So I slide the metal pieces here, and one is facing this way because the paper will go under this, and it has a little guide. This one here, so you want these two basically in line. So the blue line is a little silicone brush to clean up the head every time it comes to start printing. So this is your printing area. This will keep the paper down. Basically, here's the print dampers or the ink dampers, and the printer head is below that part. So that's kind of what we have in here. On the roller side, the roller has a little lever on the side. When you feed the paper for the first time and you align and make sure that everything is rolling fine, you can press this down to hold the paper in place, and then you can feed it so you know if the paper is coming straight or not before anything else. So tomorrow morning we're gonna set up the rest. So all right guys, so another day. I finally got the time. I'm back here. So we were working and this last night. I filmed this part, the first part that you saw. This second part is another day. Yes, I'm going to put the ink started and then jump into the software. The software is completely new as well for me, so we're gonna see what this is about. So let me get the microphone because I'm gonna be talking a little bit further away from the camera, and let's get to load the rest of the, just load the rest of the stuff on it. All right, so just to recap, we put the front, we put this. I need to lock this. I did brought the tools to lock this in place, so I'm gonna do that really quick. Here we go. So this is here. There is one rod tied. And there we go. So now those are tight. So the cutter will just work. So the next thing that we have is ink. So for the ink, let me show you what it's this here for the ink. Okay, so all the ink goes in this compartment. There's two screws, one in here and one in here. We are going to remove these screws. So I'm gonna put it on the side. So this has a sticker here, so you might wanna bend this sticker a little bit. There we go. So this is a little sticker that takes out this part. Just FYI, I'm not the biggest fan, but it has a void line in here. So I don't know why they put this sticker there. I'm gonna guess that they assume that when you remove this part, you void some sort of warranty. I'm not sure. There is one of the filters. And then we have the colors here. So we have the white here, and there's a little stir pump. You see the pump in here. And this one goes connected to the back. I thought in the beginning that I was missing a cable, but it was actually this to connect in here. It's a little longer than you need, so that's good. So the cable is not all stretched and tight. This is where you pour your white ink. We have a waste container. The cyan, magenta, black, and yellow. So it says that you need to shake your ink very well for about, I want to say a minute. Just shake it very well before you pour this. And also they have a little tags here that helps you to see if you are one of those people that decide to take all the caps at the same time. You will see that. So you will see here there is a little letter that correspond to that container, and there is a yellow white one here. It's all the way to the back. So let me pull this to the corner here, just for shits and giggles, I guess. So there you go. So white, this is a waste container, so you don't pour anything in here. Keep in mind when you move these containers after you fill them and you want to move the printer, there is a little hole on the top of each container. That's for airflow. So if you do not have a hole, the ink won't flow. So you are going to transport your printer for whatever reason. I will recommend two things. Or you flush your system so you don't have ink spilling inside the system. That will be my number one recommendation. Or also put a tape and cover these little holes to ensure that there is no spills down here. But this is not a portable equipment. This is something that you set up on a place and you shouldn't be moving around. That's my advice. So let's start with the ink. So they do send a whole set of ink, and it's actually a lot of ink. And they do send us two of white. Shelf life, it has a shelf life of 12 months. There's two white inks. There's a yellow one. Same thing, it says shelf life 12 months. Keep away from eyes and skin. Store out of the children's reach. Store in a cool, dry place and away from direct sunlight. Then also says shake well before use. That's all it says. So we have all our inks here, and I'm gonna be doing one at a time. So we have these. I'm gonna put them in order so we know what we're dealing with. The extra one is up here. I'm gonna put it away. So these are your inks, and they are from the same brand, LOKLiK. So let's shake this very well. Here we go. Now this is yellow. So the tube is fairly long, so that's good. Now, this should have a piece of paper here that is a little hard to rip. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this screwdriver, but I'm gonna get some paper towel. Be right back. Okay, I didn't find the paper towel, but I found this. So I'm gonna poke a hole. It's thick though, so be careful. So there's some extra ink. You see there's a little bit extra. Probably after we flush the system, we will refill this. So we have the yellow ink set up. Let's put it back in. All right. So piece of advice: when you do this and you take these containers out to fill, one thing that you might want to try is to hold a clear tube. Just hold it so you can unscrew the lid, because it's really stiff. So if you're turning it, this is going to try to twist the tube. So just keep that in mind. So now there is the black, the K. So let's go with this one and shake it very well again. There we go. So all these are filled. Now the white. Now for the white, I'm going to unplug the motor. And the reason I'm doing that is because the white is not going to go anywhere. It's going to be there mainly. I'm holding the cable there. So what I did for the white, number one, shelf life 12 months and shake very well. So the white is one of the most complicated inks to keep up, and that's why they have a little stir here, because you have to have this kind of a moving all the time so the pigment doesn't sit down, and that's what is going to ruin your printer. So what I'm gonna do on this one is I'm gonna cut a little bit bigger hole on the lid, on the little cover, and I'm gonna pour it directly here because I don't want to take this whole thing out. It has a lot of stuff connected to it. I don't want to mess with that. I'm sure in some point I should, but even the little hole that you have on the other ones on the lid, in this one is with a filter. That's how delicate this ink is. So be aware of that. All right, that should be enough. Okay, and what I'm gonna use on this one is an X-Acto knife. So I have an X-Acto knife, brand new blade. I have the piece of glue still on it. There you go. So I'm gonna cut this lid, and you see already the white. Let's grab a clean part. There we go. So just to tell you how important is the white, I have a whole rack just for the white ink. So I'm gonna clean this a little bit to make sure that it's fine. I'm gonna put this back in the blade. There we go. So your white ink in this specific type of printers, and in reality, any printer with white ink, a UV printing, for example, or anything, the white ink is going to be a really delicate ink. Like when you get a tattoo, the white ink is the one that is the most complicated pigment. So it works in the same way. This is kind of the most complicated pigment for your printer, and as such, you gotta be careful with it. So I'm gonna grab this piece and I'm gonna cut it off to make sure that it's not in the way. I'm cutting off a little piece of this, I'm gonna make a couple punctures on the top for air. So this is a happy 3-eye alien that I'm making here for the white ink. So again, the white ink has a completely different container or reservoir, and I make a little bigger hole. You can see it here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to remove this cap, and the cap is big. I mean, look at the size of this cap compared to the other ones. So I wanna pour it from the top and just go. And this is a bigger reservoir. I mean, this one actually fit the whole bottle of white. So that's why I did a lot bigger, because it will be easier for me to actually pour the white ink. So now it's there. Here we go. So the white is gone. Now, keep in mind that this is the ink that you are going to use the most, because every time you're printing on a non-white t-shirt, you have to have a whole print on the back of white to hold the colors and make the backing. So this is the most important ink that you will have. All right, so the white is full. I'm placing this back on, making sure that I'm putting it right. I don't want to force the little screw for the lid. There we go. So there are all the inks. Now the cable for the motor, I'm going to connect it back again. Here we go. Now, luckily I don't have any spills, so we will replace this. So I'm gonna move the sticker like so, this piece of sticker like so. So there's a couple tabs that you want to put in when you do this, or we can do it like up and down, I guess. Let's see. No, we need to go like this first, and there you go. So when you put it on, you need to put it from the back first to the front and down. Now we are going to put these things back in place. So this printer is very well made. I mean, everything is metal, and I don't think anything is aluminum. Basically, everything is metal. I don't know why. I guess aluminum is more expensive than galvanized metal. All right, so we have everything connected. We have all the stuff here. Now let's put power, bring the laptop, and start with the rest of the process. So I turn on the printer. I need to finish the setup, but I want to show you something. So I feed the paper. When you feed the paper, you leave the rollers, feed the paper, make sure that these are in place, so it's just there, and the paper is perfectly straight. You lower the rollers, and then here in the front there is a controls, and there is one arrow down and one up. Up will feed it back in, and down will feed it outside. So I want to feed it outside, and I want to make sure that there is no wrinkles or nothing coming in with the paper. So remember, the matte side goes up, the shiny side goes down, but that's how you want to make sure. So just feed at least a meter to make sure that this is fine. That's recommended by the manufacturer. So I'm gonna push this back on to a place that I'm happy with. There you go. And I'm gonna leave it just there. So I'm gonna set everything up right now on the computer, and let's get to it. Okay, so we're here in the computer. The first thing that I did is I plugged the thumb drive that says software, and I'm copying this on my desktop for now. We're gonna be using a different computer. This is a Windows computer. The machine that says is Windows only. So be aware of that when you decide to buy a machine. You can get an inexpensive laptop nowadays on Windows for just this computer, this printer. Sorry, this printer is going to have a dedicated laptop for it, so we are not going to have problems with that. So I'll be back once all this stops copying and we have everything ready for you guys to see. Okay, so I thought I was recording the installation, but I'm gonna walk you through what I did because I forgot to hit on record. So let's try to jump into this. So the first thing was I was looking into the manual. They have a whole PDF. So there is a file inside the USB that is this one right here. It's a software. So what you do is you install the USB driver, so you will have this actually installation, and there is a folder inside that says USB driver. Once I did that, let me show you what else I have here. I copied the whole file, and I have the whole folder here. So this is the content of the folder. So the first thing that I install is the AIO file, which is an application in the installer. Then on Better Printer, you'll see here there is a USB device. There is the drivers for the printer. You install those. Once you install those, you can actually open Better Printer software. So I'm going to put the link in the description because my software was completely in Chinese, and there is a video that they released with how to change it to English. So I'm not gonna try to make the video for you because mine is already in English, but I'm gonna put a link in the description below so you can change the language, and I'm also going to put the first setup that they have as a recommended video. The next thing that I did was open Better software. I click here on print test, and I start add ink to all the heads. So this actually flush all the ink here, and all the ink goes through the nozzles all the way to the head. Once you see that this reaches the head, you can stop it. There's a stop option there. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hit clean to run the clean cycle. This will create basically the whole maintenance cleaning. So once this is over and it's all done, we will come back and we will do the adjust heads before we can actually print. So be right back. All right, the print cycle finished, so I'm gonna now hit adjust, and I'm gonna see the nozzle status, I guess. So this just print super fast, to be honest, super fast. So I wanna that was incredibly fast. So I'm gonna push this down. Here are the lines. So I have a couple lines missing in here. There's a couple other lines missing in this one. So we're gonna run another cleaning because we just put this into the system. We're gonna run another cleaning. I don't see where the white is exactly, but there's a missing in a cut line here. There's one on the yellow as well. The red one looks good. There is one missing on the blue. So I'm gonna put some paper back in. There you go. So I want to show you how fast it prints this. I mean, it doesn't need to be. Now that's a lot better. Yes. Let's run a cleaning. This is going to kind of a clean everything, and you will see it here. So this is running a clean cycle. Go with the pad. And I can see down here the little tube that is basically taking the ink out of the pad, like a little reservoir that goes into the container on the side, the one that say waste. So the one that say waste right now, it has a little bit of a line under. So the cleaning is done. So I'm gonna hit back the adjustment. First I'm gonna put some DTF back. I don't wanna waste DTF if I don't have to. So I'm using the head on the printer here. Here we go. Adjust nozzle status. There you go. Let's see what it did. Look at that. Now this is a complete line. This looks very, very good. So I've been wanting to try DTF for a minute. So this is going to be definitely something to play with. So I'm gonna cut this. Oh, I like this cutter. This was smooth, really, really smooth. So you don't want to touch this ink because this ink is kind of a fresh, I'm gonna say, and that's what the glue is. But just for purpose of experimentation, I mean, it's not really too much, but that's interesting. All right, so we are going to set the rim software and give it a try. So far really easy to set up. Just a couple of things that, I mean, not perfect because it was in Chinese, but I guess you change that to English and you're good to go. All right, guys, so I spent the last day and a half or something setting up everything. So I did have an issue because I couldn't figure out why my white ink was not really running, and it was because I didn't run a cycle enough times, I guess, to make it work. So now is everything working? I'm in the software and all that. So I want to show you what I want to print right now. I have one baking and I want to print this one for you. So Cinco de Mayo is around the corner, so we're making a t-shirt for it. So what I did here is I select the spot color signs. There is some clear areas. I want those to be translucent. So the alpha is not going to be white. I don't want this to be covered. I have a spot color 1, empty image base is working fine. And I'm actually going to put this on a black t-shirt. So this is going to be the percentage that you use for how much white. I'm gonna change this percentage right now to 70. I don't need it that much. I'm gonna apply the changes. I'm gonna hit print. Now it's important to remember this software requires to be using a dongle, physical key to run. When you remove the key, you will find yourself with a watermark on your print. So this specific tablet only have 2 ports, and one of those were USB-C. Therefore, luckily I have an adapter. So be aware of that. You need that to be able to run. Another thing is the rim software actually connects via TCP for like an IP or local IP. So you need to have your Better Printer software as a host open. If this is not running and you don't have the USB 2.0 ready to print there, this won't work. Just straight up don't work. So I'm gonna hit print in here. Remember to, in my case, flip or mirror horizontal so the words came it should. So let's do it. So here we go. So the resolution of this printer is amazing. I gotta say the quality is really good. I did a couple of small prints to see how the text comes, gradients, color overall is great. The white ink covering took me a minute to figure it out, but after I did, I know now that I need to run the cycle a little bit more to make sure it's clean. But it's really nice and the glue works just fine. And this is, I'm using everything from the same company, LOKLiK, and everything is working fine. I'm going to refill after this print my bottles, but I gotta say I'm very impressed with the printer. It was a really easy setup. The white ink gave me a little bit of battle, run, flash it, and all that a couple times, but after everything, I actually didn't have to contact support, so I'm very happy about it. Oh, and by the way, remember we talked about this thing? The cutter is freaking sharp as hell, so that's awesome. It's almost done. So when you print this, of course, you will print based on the size that your heat press is and also the size of the t-shirt. Now this can print all the way to the 13 inches on A3, but I don't need that big right now, so this will work. I couldn't print a couple other small things here to save some paper, but it's kind of a test still for me. So this is done. So I'm gonna put the camera here. So you can see the process. So what I do here is you press the button to feed this out. Just a little more. And this is super smooth. Like, look, one finger push. Look at that. That's awesome. Don't touch the white ink. Put it on your bin with a DTF powder. And I'm making sure then this powder is everywhere on this. You gotta cover the whole image very well and make sure that it's as even as it gets. Everything should be covered because this is the glue that is going to activate with the heat in the oven. So I have my oven preheated. Let's shake this so I don't have glue wherever I don't need it. And there we go. So here are the colors. Look at that. So I'm gonna put it on the oven for now. Okay, so this is curing in the oven. So I'm using again LOKLiK oven, and I'm in 190 degrees. It was 185, and the time I actually changed the time because one thing that I found on this oven is if you have the oven open, the timer stops, but as soon as you close it to heat it up, the timer starts. And personally found this a little bit annoying because when the timer stops means that it stopped heating as well. And I don't want to be opening and closing it every minute and a half, 2 minutes. So I just put a lot of time here so I can just let it heat up by itself, and then I just control the timer. So facing down, so the glue is facing up, of course. I close the vents. I don't need the vents right now for just one. But this is just there right now, heating up and keeping the glue in place. So I'll be back in a minute to show you the final results. All right, here it is. I have one here done. The other one is curing right now. So this is ready for the t-shirt. So what you would notice on the glue, and there's many different powders that you can buy to have this glue on it. This one is a little bit thicker, so you will feel a little bit of the fabrics. I'm fine with that. I kind of like the feeling. You can buy another one that when it melts, they'll make like a thinner layer. But you will notice that it's not grainy anymore like it was when we first put it on the oven. And that's what you're looking for. One is grainy, it won't work. It's not recommended. Just make sure that everything just kind of go a little bit shiny and melt uniform on it. And once you have it done, just take it and set your heat press and all that. So we're gonna set the heat press and do all this in a bit. All right, so I have the heat press going right now here. That is hot. I have a little line that I made for the center. So I have the design here. I'm gonna just kind of look where the center of my design, a little line in there. So I'm gonna align this in the best of my abilities. There. Okay, so once you have that there, parchment paper, or in this case, this, I don't know the name of these things. It's like a Teflon, I believe, sheets. So those work very well. So here we are, right in place. So we go down. And I've been doing 20 seconds just to make sure that everything is right in place. So far, it's been working fine. So temperature is 315 on the heat press, and I'm using the actual heat press for this. I'll be getting a different heat press version. So here we go. Now, this is a cold peel, so I'll be back in a minute. All right, so this is cold to the touch, so now we are going to peel it. Look at that, how easy it came. Nice. So there is virtually no residue on the ink, so that was great. That was a great transfer. And here it is. Everything is right there on the fiber. It doesn't feel too plasticky. I mean, it has a feel different than the Garmer, but it's nice and elastic too. So that's awesome. Hey guys, so we played for the last 2 days with a DTF printer from HTVRont. The brand that they use is LOKLiK. It's actually quite nice. Like I mentioned, I have a couple issues with the white ink in the beginning because I have to flush the system a couple times and try to figure it out why it wasn't really going. But it was user error actually. I didn't clean the print head enough times based on the manual. So I kind of just cleaned it like a regular printer a couple times, and I was like getting frustrated with it. But it worked. It was fine. I went this morning, the next day too, print a couple stuff really quick, just worked completely. No issues whatsoever. It has everything that you would want for a white ink. So I have a couple things that I test because, as you know, I love my lasers, and I have to try to do things on my lasers. You hear my dogs walking around, they're like, "What are you doing?" Anyway, so neoprene koozies. So these are the slim neoprene koozies that you can get on Amazon, and these are like the cheapest of the cheapest. Like literally, you cannot go any cheaper than this. But I did put a DTF on it. So this is only 20 seconds on the heat press on a 315 degrees. You put your Teflon sheet on top, press it, 20 seconds, take it off, let it cool down. When it's cold, it's a cold peel. Just peel it. And I don't know if you notice, here there is no issues on the glue, and they are actually nice. You're gonna stretch them really nice, and it's not coming back all crack. So you see the shiny, and I'm stretching this too. Like look at that, and look at that. There's no crack. So is the glue that came with this is actually very elastic, and I like that. Now it does has a little feel on top, so I'm planning to get one of those sprays that is like the DTF Magic or something they call. I want to try it and see what it is. It's supposed to blend better with the fibers, so it works. I did it in another color here just to test. Same thing, like the super cheap, as inexpensive as you can get koozies, right? Then we have this one for the blankets that we sell. So this is just our regular birch wood 3 millimeters, and boom, I put it there too. Look at that. So with the DTF, I put it straight on the wood. Now again, 20 seconds and take it out. It was great because it's not that much of a time to let the wood warp. So it didn't warp, it didn't do much on the wood, and it's there. So I wanna see after how I can laser cut different things with this, because I think I can make little patterns on pieces of wood and cut earrings, cut stuff, and make something super cool, and probably do it double-sided. I mean, I think that the possibilities at this point are really endless. So DTF works on this as well. Then I have this piece of, I believe this is another wood. This is MDF at 3 millimeters, but it has a finish here. So the logo that I did in this one, actually, it was my mistake. I didn't leave it for 20 seconds. Actually, this one I leave it for like 45 seconds. I completely forgot about it. I was doing something else. And in this one, I noticed that when I leave it too long, I get a halo of glue, like a bleed of glue outside. So it might be like too much time, to heat up too much, and the glue spread out of that. And you can see it on the letters as well. I don't know if you see there for you guys to see, but on the letters, there it is. On the letters, it bleeds out because this is a cutout. So basically, this text goes like holes because it's a dark fabric that I have where this is on. I'm gonna grab it for you so you can see it. And yeah, I mean, it works, but my mistake, I leave it for too long and I see the glue bleeding out. So my understanding of DTF changed completely. I thought it was exclusively on fabrics, but apparently I can do it in a lot of different materials. Let me grab what I have here for you. So, as some of you guys know, we are opening a storefront, and these are the aprons that we all going to wear when I work with people. So we put the logo there, and this is how it looks on the logo. And you can see there is no bleed in this one, and this was strictly the 20 seconds. Some people say that you can leave it a little less time, or probably lower a little bit of heat. I did 315 religiously, regardless the material, in 20 seconds all across the board, except in this board. But I guess DTF is one of my favorite things to use, honestly. I was concerned and I was worried because I've been listening to different people complaining, and they said, oh, you gotta get this brand because these others are going to suck. I get it. If you have the budget, go for a bigger one. Probably that worked for you. Personally, 13 inches wide and feet long works for us in the applications that we're looking for. LOKLiK was really good priced. The machine is very well built, and here's the kick on all this. Whenever you go to get a DTF printer, all the DTF printers, or the majority of them, use Epson print heads. And this one is not different. It's using an Epson printer. Yes, there are newer print heads that are probably faster and probably get into a DPI that is a lot higher, but you don't need it because you will know that it's a 14,000 or 1400 DPI. The person who is buying the shirt is not going to grab a microscope to see it on the fiber. They're going to wear it, throw it into the washer, and wear it again. So I use everything LOKLiK on this one. The DTF is from LOKLiK. The glue is from LOKLiK. The oven is from LOKLiK. It's a little bit slow heating up in the oven. That's the only part that I'm not super happy about because it takes a good 8 to 9 minutes to just warm up to temperature. And the click that it does when it closes to start the timer doesn't let you heat up in a straight line. You gotta be opening a little bit and close it again if you have your timer set. So I personally set it all the way to 600 seconds, and then I use a separate timer for when I put it into the oven. And it's about 2 minutes into the oven, so that's fine. But I don't like too much that the system, it should have a button that allows you to press it once you are going to start baking it, and not just when you open and close, because when you're preheating the oven, the timer is going. And if you run out of time, you need to open and close it, because if not, it will just stop heating. And I mean, that could be designed differently, but it still is a good oven. And it's probably one of the well-priced ovens that you can get. It's like very fair price. So the whole kit, I'll put in the descriptions a link and everything so you can buy it if you are interested in it. Full disclosure, I just went to the website, so this is going to be an affiliate link, of course, that help us to keep doing all these videos. But I'm not going to recommend you ever anything that I'm not using and I don't see it is worth it. So far, last couple days I've been using it here and there. Today, after 24 hours, went like really scared, because everyone is like, oh, if you don't print every 12 hours, your print head and nozzles are going to clock, and it's a mess. I turned on the printer, checked the software, and it was fine. I mean, I just printed the first test that I designed a first test so I can print just the white to make sure that goes on before I print anything else. I print the test, was all good, send my print, everything works. Another thing is, be aware the software is in Chinese sometimes when you first open it, and it's really near to impossible to find where to change the language. There is a video that they release how to change the language. I'm going to put the video on the description below so you can change that language as well. I didn't want to do the whole process because I did it once and then I was like, seriously. But it's fairly easy, but you need to follow the video and say, okay, you click in this one, you click in that one, and finally you will see the word English. So that's good. And make sure that your computer has two USB, regular USBs. You don't want a type C, you don't want nothing different. You want a USB type B, I believe it is. Because when you open the software, you have your printer connected. It's not Wi-Fi, it's not Bluetooth. You need to connect it on the cable. Once you connect the printer, you need to connect a dongle, which is a physical key to be able to launch and export from the software. So if you don't have that on, your print will come with a watermark for the Ring software. So you need at least two USBs. I did not try it with a USB hub. So probably that works fine. I'm not sure. Some dongles are a little finicky with that. And what I did in my case, I have one USB-B and one USB-C. So I have an adapter to put it on the USB-C. So there you guys have it. DTF is one of the things that are coming hot, just like the UV printers. Companies are changing how they manufacture these machines and are being more reliable. I would recommend personally, this one is being really nice. The quality is top notch in my opinion. The print quality is great. It's using the Epson XP600 print head, which is a really good head. It's a commercial grade. Price-wise, for supplies, I feel that is really fair price. The roll for the DTF is only $59, and I believe it's for 100 feet or something like that. I'm not sure. I'll put everything on the description below, but it's like $39 for the whole kit of inks. So it's fairly priced. It's something that it will make you money and it won't bleed your bank account. So thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, as always, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share the love, leave us comments, ask where we can use this so we can try it for you. And as always, fire the laser and use your DTF printer.